Your money is in pain right now, and a Band-Aid isn't going to help. But I'm going to tell you what will. Welcome into the Real Estate Minute Show. Every day that you are working and busting your butt, sleeping, taking care of your family, shopping, doing what you need to do, every day your money is losing money. Every dollar you have in the bank is losing a fraction of something because of a concept called inflation. We talked about inflation a lot here in the show on episodes 102, 116, and 123 specifically, where we talk about inflation, what it is, and also things that I do personally, and I recommend to clients do to offset it. So what I mean is this: we understand the day-to-day effect of inflation. We understand recently over the last year that bread went from $3.50 to $6.50, or gas went from X to X. We feel that. However, human beings, it takes a while to experience that pain. It takes months sometimes. We keep just complaining about it at parties. It's something to talk about, bitch and moan and complain. It's something we hear and read on the news and listen to the radio about and hear from people like me. And that's about it. Once the credit cards, though, start getting tapped, once the bills get a little harder to pay, and once you got to open up another account, another credit card in order to cover expenses, that's when the pain starts. So my question has always been, how do I offset that pain or get rid of it completely in the future? What do I got to do to stop that pain? Because inflation is happening now. It's easing a bit, but it's still happening. Look at the market. Go shopping. No matter what they say, no matter what this administration says, that inflation has dropped from X to X. True, but it grew by X already, and those prices now are staying at that high level, okay? So it's painful for us. What do you do to stop it? What I'm suggesting is something a little different, something to ease that pain or get rid of it in the future, okay? And you could start right now, today. Just so you have some common knowledge here, inflation today in September of 2023 is 3.7% currently. Back at its peak in June of 2022, it was 9.04%. You didn't see that number published mainly anywhere, because once things get to 9, 10, 11%, you start talking about bread lines, okay? And the government doesn't want you to know about bread lines because that's scary. That's Depression era stuff. So taking those two numbers into account, let's say you had $1,000, you stuck it into the bank in January of 2023, and then you took it out in January of 2024. Let's assume that inflation this whole year was 3.7%, like it is currently in September. That means that if you did nothing else and the money wasn't earning any interest and just sitting in a vault, out of that $1,000, you would lose $37. That's 3.7% inflation. That means between January of 2023 and January of 2024, you can buy $37 less of stuff because of inflation, because the cost of things went up by that amount. So how do you offset that? You discard of two ways you've been thinking about that $1,000. One is to spend it, which I don't recommend spending all your savings. And two is to not invest it because you're afraid of the market or afraid of investing or don't know how to invest. I've never invested before. So a simple way to sleep at night, a simple way to ease your dollars. I look at my dollars like children. So I started off this show saying they're screaming and crying at night. They are if you're not doing something to them, because every day they're losing money. So every dollar out of that 1,000 is yelling, it needs to be soothed, it needs to be bottle fed. And bottle feeding is investing it. It could be as simple as a money market account. It could be as simple as a savings account, a CD, something that's within the FDIC insurance limits of $250 or $500 married. This is one very simple way to do it. This is not something that's a gigantic headline here. It's just a reminder to think about it that way. Don't get stuck in the pain of inflation. Get stuck in how do I get out of that pain in the future and plan for it. Talk to you next week on the show.